Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at Ephesians chapter 2. And you were dead in the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the curse of the world, following the prince of power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience, among whom all once lived in the passions of our flesh, carrying out the desires of our body and the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, like the rest of mankind. But God, being rich in mercy, because of the great love which He has loved us, even when we're dead in our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved, and raised up with Him, and seated us with Him in heavenly places in Christ Jesus, so that in the coming ages He might show the immeasurable riches of His grace and kindness towards us in Christ Jesus. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing, it is a gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. For we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. Therefore remember that one time you Gentiles in flesh called the uncircumcision by what is called the circumcision, which is made in the flesh by hands. Remember that you were at that time separated from Christ, alienated from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers to the covenants of promise, having hope and without God in the world. But now, in Christ Jesus, you who were once far off have been brought near by the blood of Christ. For He Himself is our peace, who has made us both one and has broken down in His flesh the dividing wall of hostility, by abolishing the law of commandments expressed in ordinances, that He might create in Himself one new man in place of two, so making peace, and might reconcile us both to God in one body through the cross, thereby killing the hostility. And He came and preached peace to you who were far off, and peace to those who were near. For through Him we both have access in one Spirit to the Father. So then you are no longer strangers and aliens, but you are fellow citizens with the saints and members of the household of God, built on the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Christ Himself being the cornerstone, in whom the whole structure, being joined together, grows into a holy temple in the Lord. In Him you also are being built together in a dwelling place for God by the Spirit. Ephesians chapter 2. Easter weekend. Many people are talking about the crucifixion and the resurrection. But let's twist that just a little bit. Looking at Ephesians 2. Looking at the grace and mercy that God has for us, that we should have for one another. No matter the road that we're on, it can change. It can be different. But that's a choice that we have to make. No matter what has happened in your life, no matter what you have done, things can change. We are going through life constantly learning. And that's a way that we have to think of things, not just personally, but even professionally when we're at work. Things are going to change. Things are not going to stay the same. But you have to be able to deal with that change. You have to be able to learn how to adapt with what's happening around you. But then still keeping that foundation. We've all done things that we're probably not the most proud of. Some of us maybe even have regrets. But those are things that we need to use to build upon ourselves, need to use to help out one another. We always hear about building up one another and encouraging one another, lifting each other up, helping each other get to that next level. Which is what Easter's about, because that's what Christ was doing to help us, the non-chosen, the Gentiles, to get to that next level. Because we were not the Jews. We were not, the Israelites. But in that same thought, for us, what are we doing to help others? Not condemn, not hurt them, but to pick them up, to lift them up. We talk about love. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. Well, it's also with that love, it's the building up of one another, and it's the serving one another, being there for each other, being that ear, sometimes being that voice of reason. This is not just about us, or let's say it's not just about me, you. It's about we, all. What can you do to help out the person next to you? And again, it could be as simple as a smile, a hello, a how are you today? It's the same thing when you're at work every day of just, showing kindness to one another. Someone needs help to do something. They're not completely understanding what is going on, and they just need a little extra. Now, it can get really tiring after a while. I will admit that, because how many people do you have to deal with that you're showing them and telling them how to do something, trying to teach them, but no matter what you do, it doesn't seem to sink in. Or you give them just a little bit, and then all of a sudden their confidence is they take a mile, and with that, not asking messes up something that creates a lot more work that needs to be done. Yeah, we're going to call it frustrating. But it's how you react. It's how you deal with the situation. It's what you do with those circumstances. And that is what we need to think about. What were you to what you are now? Who are you now to what are you going to become? With those changes, who are you taking with you? Who are you going to build up along the way? Who are you going to help over that fence so they also can get to that next level for them in life? With God, with their mind, with their body, with their spirit. For me, it's that taking care of everything. Body, mind, and spirit. Physically healthy, mentally healthy, and spiritually healthy. You need those three to complete that circle, to help with the motivation, to really keep pushing forward to what needs to be done, what you need to do, what I need to do as we're moving forward in life. Ephesians chapter 2. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.